dani&boats here, and today I'm going to be talking about my vinyl collection. And by vinyl, I mean vinyl pop figures. You got clickbaited. Hey! The first few pop figures that I got, I decided early on that I wanted to start a collection, so I bought two at the same time. The first two were Buffy and Willow. I kind of regret taking them out of their boxes and then continuing to take my pop figures out of their boxes, not because I plan on selling them at any point, but because then I could have stacked them on top of each other, and I have so many at this point that they're taking up all of my shelf space and I can't stack them. So I'm stuck at the number that I have right now, and these two started it all. As well as having Buffy and Willow, I continued my Buffy collection by getting Angel and Oz. And I have them standing with Buffy next to Angel, and then Willow next to Oz. I wish that I had a Tara that I could put Willow next to, but they don't have a Tara pop figure, so she's stuck with Oz in the meantime. I do want to get the Spike pop figures, but I haven't gotten around to it yet, and I have no more shelf space to put them. Continuing with the theme of fandoms, next up I have Sherlock. So I of course have Sherlock and John, and they stand next to one another. And then I have Moriarty and Mycroft, and I have them stand next to each other because everybody ships them, for whatever reason, even though they've never met. Haven't caught up, so I haven't seen the 4th season yet, but I intend to, and hopefully I will enjoy it. Possibly get some more pop figures. Because the two are so closely related, after Sherlock I have Doctor Who. I have Doctors number 9, 10, and 11. 9 is holding a banana because potassium. Then I have 10 holding his sonic screwdriver, and 11 holding his sonic screwdriver. Now the thing about 11 is his hair is so big, he likes to just Geronimo off of the shelf all the time. So I put him inside the TARDIS. I keep the door open so you can still see his face. It is 11's TARDIS, as you can see it's got the seal there, but putting him in here stops him from falling over because his hair is caught by the TARDIS door. Now the reason I don't have the 12th Doctor pop figure, or a Clara if there is one, is because I never watched the seasons of Doctor Who with the 12th Doctor. Personally, 10 was my favorite, I loved 9, 11 was okay, and then afterwards I just couldn't watch because I personally don't like the writing that Stephen Moffat is doing, so it just doesn't do it for me. So I've just been watching the Russell T Davies ones, and then I watched 11 because Stephen Moffat had written some good episodes in the Davies era, but it just wasn't the same for me after that, so I've stopped watching, and I don't have any Capaldi era pop figures. But I do have some companions. As for my two companions, I have Captain Jack Harkness and Rose Tyler, because Captain Jack is my favorite. I am a huge Torchwood fan. I'm pretty upset that they don't have any Torchwood specific pop figures. I would love to get a Yonto, Tosh, Owen, Gwen, all those guys. And then Rose, personally my favorite companion was Donna, but Rose is a pretty cool person as well, and they had her pop figure. I have Captain Jack sitting between the TARDIS with 11 in it and the 9th Doctor because he knew the 9th Doctor. And then I have Rose standing between the 9th Doctor and the 10th Doctor because she knew both. Granted, Jack did know both Doctors as well, but I couldn't put them both there. I also have 3 Doctor Who villains. The first one I got most recently is Davros. My father used to work at a comic book shop in New York City, and when he was up there visiting recently, he saw this Davros pop figure and thought he had to get it for me because he had only ever seen it in that comic shop, and he knows how much I love pop figures. So he bought me this Davros. It's huge in comparison to a lot of the other pop figures that I have, and I stick him right next to the TARDIS. The other villains that I have are a Weeping Angel and the Adipose. The Weeping Angel I put next to David Tennant's Doctor, and then the Adipose I put right next to the Weeping Angel, up against the wall. Now, a lot of people group together Sherlock and Doctor Who with Supernatural, which I haven't watched in years, but I did watch some of it. One of my favorite characters was Charlie. Now, because I haven't seen the show in so long, I haven't gotten, the other pop figures for the series, just because I haven't caught up, I don't know what's going on with them. I did hear a spoiler about Charlie here that I was pretty upset about, but at some point, hopefully, I can go back and rewatch what I have watched and then catch up with Supernatural, so I'll know what's going on and I won't feel any guilt getting Dean or Sam or Castiel or any other of the pop figures that they have. Charlie here does not balance very well, so when I put her up, I have her standing on her head because she just does not want to stand on her feet. My next few pop figures I like to put in my emo corner because they are my emo pop figures. I have Gerard Way from the Welcome to the Black Parade music video, and then I have Edward Scissorhands over here, who was a gift to me. Also in my emo corner, I keep Harley Quinn because she is like the staple of emo kids. And so I put Gerard Way up in the very corner, Edward Scissorhands next to him, and then Harley Quinn on this edge. Now next to Harley Quinn, I have a few more things connected to her. Directly next to Harley Quinn, I keep Batman because Harley Quinn is of course a Batman villain, and I need to have him next to her. He's also kind of emo because he's dressed in all black and everybody's like, oh, I love Batman when you're emo. It's just how it is. Now Batman is a superhero. I have a couple other superhero universe pop figures, but Batman of course is DC, and the other two I have are Marvel. So up next I have Deadpool and Baby Groot. Now Deadpool, I have always loved. Before the movie even came out, I loved Deadpool from playing the video game, and so I knew when the movie came out I had to watch it, and then when the pop figure came out I had to get him. He actually is a bobblehead. For whatever reason, no other pop figure of mine is a bobblehead, and I checked, it's all of the Deadpool pop figures, they are all bobbleheads, it wasn't just this one being weird, but he is a bobblehead. And the Groot here I guess is also a bobblehead, but that makes more sense because Baby Groot likes to dance. This was actually given to me as a Secret Santa present, and I hadn't seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet. I had just said in our meeting before the Secret Santa, I like pop figures. And so my friend got me this pop figure, and I said to him, I actually haven't seen the movie yet, but this is just gonna give me incentive to watch it. I had already wanted to watch it, but just hadn't yet. So the day I got this, I sat down and I watched Guardians of the Galaxy. Next I have, at this point, I think the only singleton pop figure, aside from Charlie, that doesn't have like surrounding fandom pop figures with it, mostly because this person is not from a fandom. I have a Bernie Sanders pop figure because I am a huge Bernie supporter. I voted for him in the primaries, didn't get the nomination, but I do have Bernie here keeping an eye on me, making sure that I do the right thing. My next few pop figures are all from cartoons. So the first part is Disney. From Frozen, I have Elsa, Anna, and Olaf with an upside down head. Olaf was actually given to me by Dani as a present. She was just walking through Barnes & Noble and saw him and thought, Boats needs him, so she got him for me. Next to Anna, Elsa, and Olaf, I have another Disney character. I have Stitch, who just kind of stands there in his little orange outfit. Next to Stitch, I have characters from the movie Zootopia. I have, of course, Judy and Nick, and then with Judy and Nick, I have Flash 100-yard dash, because I loved the movie Zootopia, and so I needed these guys to hang out on my shelf. Funny thing, I ordered these guys online, and when I was looking for them, I had like some pop figure discount code where I could get 3 for the price of 2, something like that, and so I was scrolling through and I was looking for Nick and Judy. Now I found Nick. I couldn't find Judy on the website anywhere, so I ended up getting Flash instead. The package got there, I had another coupon with it, and then I checked the website again, and that's when they put up Judy, so I bought Judy separately from these two. My last two cartoon characters aren't Disney, but instead are from DreamWorks, and of course, I had to get Shrek and Donkey, because I love Shrek. He's a meme. I love the Shrek meme, I love everything about Shrek. The Shrek movies are actually really good, my favorite one probably being the 4th. So I had to get Shrek and Donkey for my collection. Now I know you're thinking, hey Boats, you're wearing a Harry Potter shirt there, you got Harry staring at you in the background, you must have Harry Potter pop figures. And the answer is, I absolutely do. I have so many Harry Potter pop figures that they take up pretty much my entire bookshelf, with the other pop figures having to sit on separate shelves. So before I get into the Harry Potter part of the Potterverse, I'm going to start with Fantastic Beasts because that movie recently came out and therefore I don't have too many pop figures from Fantastic Beasts yet. The pop figures that I do have from Fantastic Beasts start with Newt Scamander holding his case and his wand, and then another Newt Scamander holding just his wand. This one came with Pickett, who you can't really see that well, but there he is. So I like to have this Newt Scamander with Pickett standing right in front of him, standing next to this Newt Scamander. As well as those guys, I have the Niffler standing next to the Newt Scamander that has Pickett, because that's the one with the creatures. And I have Queenie, because she is probably one of my favorite characters in the new Fantastic Beasts movie, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of her. And now we get in with the really long part, the Harry Potter pop figures. First on my list, I have 4 different Harrys. First Harry is this one in his standard robes holding his wand. He's the first one that stands there. Next to him, we have Harry wearing his Weasley sweater with the little H on it. Next to that Harry, we have 4th year Tri-Wizard Harry wearing his Tri-Wizard outfit, holding his wand, ready to go. And lastly, I have Order of the Phoenix Harry holding the prophecy in one hand and his wand in the other. Next to Harry, I of course have to keep his best friend, Ron. So the first Ron that I have is standard in his robes, and he's holding his broken wand there. Next to that Ron, I keep Ron in his Weasley sweater to match Harry's. And next to him, I keep Yule Ball Ron in his Yule Ball robes. Next to Ron, I of course have to keep his wife, Hermione. So the first one I have is standard Hermione in her robes holding her wand. And then I have Yule Ball Hermione in her dress with her hair all done up. And they stand next to one another. Now next to Harry, aside from Ron, on the other side we have 2 pop figures. We have Sirius Black, because he acted as a very fatherly figure to Harry. And we have Hagrid, who acted as a very good friend to Harry. As you can see, Hagrid is giant compared to the other pop figures. Hagrid has his pink umbrella in one hand. Sirius has his wand in his hand. Another influential adult on Harry was Dumbledore. So I have 2 Dumbledores here. This Dumbledore is in maroon robes, and I think is supposed to be the first actor that played Dumbledore. And then this Dumbledore is in purple robes, and I think is supposed to be the second actor that played Dumbledore in the series. Next to Dumbledore, I keep Mad-Eye Moody, who stands there with his eye looking at me all the time. Next, I have a few more Hogwarts students that are friends with Harry. First, I have Luna Lovegood, whose birthday is actually the day that I'm recording this, so happy birthday, Luna. And next to Luna, I keep Neville, because you know how good friends they are. Luna's just holding her wand and wearing her earrings there, and then Neville is holding his wand as well as Trevor the Toad. Next to these guys, I have Cedric Diggory in his Tri-Wizard outfit, because I'm a Hufflepuff and I love Cedric Diggory so much. Of course, another friend of Harry's who no one can forget about is Dobby. So I have Dobby here holding a sock, wearing his little pillowcase shirt, dress thing. And then next to Dobby, I have to keep his former owner and Hogwarts student, Draco Malfoy, who I love dearly, even though he's a bit of a meanie. Next to Draco, we start on with the Death Eaters. I only have 2. My first one is Bellatrix Lestrange. She's in her prison robes, holding up her Azkaban number. Her hair is very, very big and makes her very, very back heavy. So when she sits on the shelf, she falls backwards. So in order to get her to stand up and not jump off the shelf, I have her leaning against the books on my bookshelf. I also have her next to Draco because she is Draco's aunt and he has to love her. Next to Bellatrix, I keep Severus Snape. They stand together plotting evil things. Now next to my Death Eaters, I have to have the ultimate evils of Harry Potter. First of all, we have Voldemort. I have an inside joke with a friend of mine where he just picks up Voldemort, holds him up close to me, and says, "Why?" Just because of the way he's holding his hands and the look on his face. Next to Voldemort, I keep a Dementor, because a Dementor is literally the embodiment of depression and is pretty gosh darn evil if I do say so myself. And that's going to be it for my vinyl pop figure collection. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Why?